Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're taking a fresh look at the Lincoln Wheat Penny, a coin that holds more history than its small size suggests. These pennies, with their classic wheat reverse, have been collected for decades and still surprise collectors with rare dates and hidden details. Stay tuned as we uncover the stories and secrets behind this timeless American coin. First up, the 1950 Lincoln Wheat Penny is a coin with a rich background and historical significance that continues to be appreciated by coin collectors and enthusiasts. Minted at the Denver Mint in the United States in 1950 for this penny is part of the long-running Lincoln Wheat Penny series, which began in 1909 and continued until 1958. The D-Mint mark located just beneath the date on the obverse side indicates that this particular coin was produced at the Denver Mint. The 1950 Lincoln penny was produced in high numbers, which means it is not a rare coin, but it still holds value to collectors, especially those interested in coins from the mid-20th century. The condition of this specific coin is described as circulated, which means it was used in everyday transactions for some time and shows signs of wear from handling and age. The obverse side of the 1950 penny features the famous right-facing portrait of President Abraham Lincoln. This design was created by Victor David Brenner and first appeared on U.S. pennies in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. On the front of the coin, you can see the word Liberty on the left side of Lincoln's image and the date 1950 along with the D-Mint mark on the right side. Above Lincoln's head is the national motto, "In God We Trust." Even though this particular coin is circulated, it still retains the iconic design elements that have made the Lincoln penny one of the most recognizable and enduring coins in American history. On the reverse side of the 1950 penny, you will find the wheat ear design that gives the coin its nickname Wheat Penny. To stylize stalks of wheat curve along the left and right edges of the coin, framing the words 1 cent and United States of America, which are boldly displayed in the center. At the top of the reverse side is the Latin phrase E pluribus unum, which means out of many one, reflecting the unity of the states. This reverse design was also created by Victor David Brenner and remained in use until 1959, when it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design. The wheat reverse is considered a classic among U.S. coin designs and is highly valued for its simple yet elegant symbolism. The circulated condition of the 1950 penny means that the coin has been handled over time and exhibits noticeable signs of wear. These signs might include smoothing of the high points on Lincoln's portrait or the wheat ears, as well as some discoloration or darkening of the copper surface. Circulated coins often have minor scratches and dings that come from being used in commerce and passed from hand to hand. While this level of wear does reduce the coin's value compared to uncirculated or mint state examples, it does not take away from its historical appeal or its value to collectors who appreciate the story behind the coin. In terms of composition, the 1954 Lincoln Wheat Penny was made from a bronze alloy consisting of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. This composition was standard for pennies at the time and gives the coin its characteristic reddish-brown color. Over time, exposure to air and handling can cause the surface of the coin to change color, sometimes becoming a darker brown or developing patina or other tones depending on the environment in which it was stored. Copper coins are especially reactive to the elements, which is why circulated pennies can exhibit such a wide range of tones and shades. The 1950 penny had a relatively high mintage, with over 250 million coins struck at the Denver Mint. This high production level reflects the economic activity of the time. The United States was in a period of growth following the end of World War II. The early 1950s were marked by industrial expansion, population shifts, and a baby boom, all of which increased demand for coinage. As a result, the 1950 penny was widely distributed and used across the country. Although it is not considered rare, the coin remains a part of many collections, especially for those building a complete set of Lincoln Wheat pennies by date and mint mark. Collectors value wheat pennies not just for their age or rarity, but for the connection they offer to a different time in American life. The 1954 Lincoln wheat penny is a small yet meaningful artifact of the post-war era, reflecting both the everyday economic activity of ordinary people and the enduring respect for President Lincoln. Even though it may have been used to buy candy, newspapers, or a bus fare, this coin carries with it a story of mid-20th century America. It reminds us that every coin has passed through countless hands and holds a place in the collective experience of a nation. Next up we have the 1952 Lincoln wheat penny is a historical coin minted in the United States and forms part of the long-running Lincoln wheat cent series, which began in 1909 and continued through 1958. This particular coin was produced at the San Francisco Mint as indicated by the S mint mark located just below the year on the obverse side of the coin. The 1952 wheat penny is a product of the post-World War II era, a time of growth and change in the United States. Like many coins of this period, it played a role in everyday economic transactions and passed through countless hands during its time in circulation. The coin in question is in circulated condition, which means it shows typical signs of wear due to its use over many years in commerce. On the obverse side of the 1952 Lincoln wheat penny, the central feature is a portrait of President Abraham Lincoln facing right. This design was created by Victor David Brenner and has remained on the penny for more than a century. Above Lincoln's head is the national motto, "In God We Trust," while the word liberty is found to the left and the date 1952 appears to the right, along with the S mint mark indicating its production at the San Francisco Mint. The wear on a circulated coin may include some smoothing of the finer details of Lincoln's hair, face, and coat, and sometimes the lettering may appear slightly worn, but generally remains legible. This portrait of Lincoln is one of the most iconic and enduring images in American numismatics and reflects the nation's respect for its 16th president. The reverse of the 1952 penny features the classic wheat ears design, which gives the coin its name. On either side of the coin, two stylized wheat stalks curve upward to frame the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America. At the top is the phrase "E pluribus unum," which means "out of many one," a motto that emphasizes unity. This reverse, designed by Brenner, remained unchanged until 1959, when it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design. The wheat design is simple yet elegant and was widely appreciated by the public during its 50-year run. On a circulated coin, this side may show wear on the wheat stalks and in the lettering, but the general outline and composition typically remain clear enough to recognize the coin's identity. In terms of composition, the 1952 penny was made from the standard bronze alloy used in most wheat pennies, which consists of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. Over time, copper coins tend to develop a range of colors due to exposure to air, moisture, and oils from human hands. A circulated 1952 penny might show a mix of red, brown, and dark brown tones, or even hints of green or black in some cases, depending on how and where it was stored or handled. These color variations are common and are often accepted by collectors, especially when the coin has not been artificially cleaned or altered. The San Francisco Mint struck over 137 million of these coins in 1952, which means the 1952 penny is not considered rare. However, it still holds significance as part of the larger Lincoln wheat penny collection. Many collectors seek to build complete sets of Lincoln cents from 1909 through 1958, and having a 1952 penny in the set is essential. Although circulated coins are generally less valuable than uncirculated or proof examples, they still provide important historical and educational value. They allow collectors to appreciate the longevity and reach of these coins as they circulated through the American economy. The historical context of the early 1950s adds to the interest of the 1952 penny. The United States was undergoing major economic growth and transformation during the post-war years. Industry was booming, suburban areas were expanding, and the American population was increasing rapidly. This was a time when coins like the 1952 as penny were in constant use for daily purchases such as newspapers, candy, transit fares, and other small transactions. As such, this penny offers a direct link to the everyday life of people in that era. Each scratch and worn edge tells a story of where the coin may have traveled and how it was used. Collectors who are interested in circulated wheat pennies often look for examples that still retain solid detail and show even wear across the surface. A good circulated 1952 penny will have all major design elements visible without major damage such as deep scratches, holes, or corrosion. While these coins are relatively common, their value lies in their historical significance and their role in completing a series. For many beginning collectors, circulated wheat pennies like this one are affordable entry points into the hobby and serve as valuable learning tools for understanding mint marks, grading, and coin history. Next up we have the 1950 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark is a classic American coin that carries historical and numismatic significance. Struck during the middle of the 20th century at the Philadelphia Mint, which did not use a mint mark, this coin represents a time in American history marked by recovery from World War II and the beginning of a new era of growth and development. The coin in question is in good condition, which generally indicates it retains most of its key design elements, with some moderate were visible from circulation. This piece continues to be of interest to collectors, especially those aiming to complete a full Lincoln wheat cent collection spanning from 1909 to 1958. The obverse of the 1950 Lincoln penny features a right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. Designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909 to honor the centennial of Lincoln's birth, this design has become one of the most iconic in American coinage history. Above Lincoln's head is the motto "In God We Trust," while the word liberty is found to the left of the portrait and the date 1950 is on the right. Because there is no mint mark below the date, it identifies the coin as having been minted in Philadelphia. In good condition, the finer details of Lincoln's hair, facial features, and clothing may be slightly worn from handling and use over time, but the overall design remains intact and recognizable. Turning to the reverse side of the coin, the traditional wheat ear design is still visible, though signs of wear are likely present. This side of the coin was also designed by Brenner and includes the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America prominently in the center. These are flanked on both sides by stylized sheaves of wheat curving upward from the lower edge of the coin. The Latin phrase "e pluribus unum," meaning out of many one, is inscribed near the top edge. On a coin in good condition, the wheat stalks may be less detailed than on a higher grade coin, and the lettering may show signs of smoothing, but it is usually still fully readable and the layout remains clear. The 1950 Lincoln wheat penny was struck in a composition of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, which was standard for most wheat cents. This bronze alloy gives the coin its original reddish-brown color, though over time coins can darken and change in appearance depending on exposure to air, moisture, and handling. In good condition, the 1950 penny may show a variety of color tones, ranging from light brown to dark brown, and may even retain some original red luster in protected areas of the design, such as between the lettering or along the rims. These color variations are natural and often appreciated by collectors as part of a coin's character and history. More than 270 million Lincoln wheat cents were minted at the Philadelphia Mint in 1950, making this coin common. In terms of overall mintage, while it is not a rare date or variety, the coin is still significant to collectors because every date and mint combination is needed to complete a full Lincoln wheat cent set. Collectors often see coins in various conditions to understand the different levels of wear and preservation that coins can show after years of circulation. A 1950 penny in good condition represents a balance between affordability and historical value and serves as a tangible reminder of mid-century American life. During the time this coin was minted, the United States was emerging from the challenges of the Second World War and entering a period of economic expansion. In 1950, families across the country were beginning to experience the early signs of suburban growth, technological advancement, and an increase in consumer goods. A penny held meaningful value and could buy items like candy, gum, newspapers, or contribute toward a bus fare. These small transactions made the Lincoln penny a daily part of American life, and coins like this one traveled widely through pockets, purses, cash registers, and banks, playing an active role in the country's economy. From a numismatic perspective, the 1950 Lincoln cent is important for understanding both the minting practices of the time and the evolution of the Lincoln cent series. While Philadelphia minted coins did not carry a mint mark, they were still made with great attention to detail. Many examples from this era exhibit clean strikes, especially in higher grades, though coins in good condition, like the one described, may show some loss of sharpness due to wear. Nonetheless, such coins are still valued by collectors who appreciate the authenticity and sense of history that circulated coins provide. The coin also holds educational value for those studying American coinage. Examining a 1950 Lincoln wheat penny can reveal much about design elements, engraving techniques, and how coins wear over time. It also offers insight into the production capacity of the Philadelphia Mint and the overall role of coins in the U.S. economy during the post-war years. For new collectors, acquiring a good condition 1950 penny can be a satisfying step in building a collection while learning about the factors that affect coin grading and desirability. Next up, we have the 1928 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark is a historical American coin that was minted at the Philadelphia Mint during a period of relative economic stability prior to the Great Depression. With no mint mark present under the date, this coin is identified as having been struck in Philadelphia, which was the main mint facility for producing large quantities of currency for general circulation at the time. This particular coin has experienced circulation and bears noticeable scratches, which is common for coins of this age. Despite these signs of wear, the 1928 Lincoln wheat penny remains an important piece in the broader series of Lincoln cents and carries both numismatic and historical significance. The obverse of the 1928 Lincoln penny features the classic right-facing profile of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. This design was introduced in 1909 by Victor David Brenner and marked the first time a real person appeared on regular United States coinage. The image of Lincoln has remained on the 1-cent coin ever since, making it one of the longest-running and most recognized coin designs in U.S. history. In this particular coin from 1928, even with scratches and signs of circulation, the general outline of Lincoln's portrait remains identifiable. Details such as the hair, facial contours, and coat may be worn down, but the overall image is typically still distinguishable in circulated condition. Above Lincoln's head on the obverse side is the inscription "In God We Trust," a motto that has appeared on U.S. coins since the 19th century. To the left of the portrait is the word liberty, and the date 1928 is clearly located to the right. The absence of a mint mark under the date confirms that this coin was struck in Philadelphia. On a coin that has been in circulation for nearly a century, these inscriptions might be faded but should remain legible. The rim of the coin may also show signs of wear or small nicks due to prolonged handling, which is typical for coins that have seen daily use over the decades. The reverse side of the 1928 wheat penny continues the original reverse design introduced in 1909. This design features the denomination 1 cent prominently at the center, with the inscription United States of America directly below it. Above these words is the Latin motto E pluribus unum, meaning out of many one. The reverse is framed by two stylized wheat stalks that curve along both the left and right edges of the coin, giving the coin its popular nickname wheat penny. On a circulated and scratched coin such as this one, much of the fine detail in the wheat ears may be worn away, and the lettering may appear smoother than on a coin in higher grades. However, the overall structure of the design usually remains visible, especially the denomination and country name. The 1928 Lincoln cent was minted in large numbers, with over 130 per million pieces produced in Philadelphia. Despite this high mintage, finding well-preserved examples today is less common due to the passage of time and the fact that many coins were heavily used in daily transactions. Coins in circulated condition with scratches are generally more affordable and accessible to collectors, making them a popular choice for those who are building a complete Lincoln cent set or who are interested in coins as historical artifacts. Rather than as high-grade investments, the composition of the 1928 Lincoln penny is primarily copper with a small mixture of tin and zinc. This bronze alloy gives the coin its distinctive reddish-brown color when new. Over time and with exposure to the elements and handling, the color can change significantly. A coin that has been circulated for many years may develop various shades of brown, red, or even green or black if oxidation and environmental conditions have had an effect. Scratches can expose different layers of the metal or show areas of discoloration, but these are all part of the natural aging process that occurs with older coins. From a historical standpoint, the 1928 Lincoln penny holds value not just as a coin but as a tangible link to American life during the late 1920s. This was a time of significant cultural and technological change in the United States. The country was experiencing the tail end of the economic boom known as the Roaring Twenties. Just 1 year later, the stock market crash of 1929 would mark the beginning of the Great Depression. A 1928 penny would have been used to purchase small everyday goods, pay for trolley rides, or be saved by children in coin banks. Its presence in circulation offers a glimpse into the lives of ordinary people and the everyday economy of that period. Collectors who specialize in Lincoln cents often seek examples from every year and mint mark, and the 1928 coin is an essential part of that collection. While it may not be considered rare in absolute terms, coins from the 1920s are becoming more challenging to find in decent condition as they age, as many have been removed from circulation over time. A circulated coin with scratches may not be worth a high market value, but is still appreciated for its age, its design, and its place in American numismatic history. Collectors may find beauty and value in its imperfections, as each mark and blemish tells a part of the coin's story. Next up we have the 1940 for Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark is a coin produced by the Philadelphia Mint during a pivotal time in American history. Issued during the final years of World War II, this coin is part of a significant era in the evolution of United States coinage. With no mint mark present beneath the date, the origin of the coin is clearly the Philadelphia Mint, which was the largest minting facility in operation at the time. The 1940 for wheat penny is especially notable because it was the first year after the United States Mint reverted from steel plankets used in 1943 back to the traditional copper alloy. The coin you are describing is in black shade condition, which is typically a result of oxidation, environmental exposure, or aging over time. Despite such wear, it remains a meaningful collectible and a piece of history worth examining in detail. On the obverse of the 1940 for penny is the well-known image of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. This profile view of Lincoln has been used continuously since 1909 and remains one of the most iconic depictions in American numismatics. Even if the coin has darkened over time and shows discoloration in the form of a black shade, many of the design elements, such as Lincoln's outline, facial profile, and coat are still likely to be visible to some degree, depending on the extent of wear and surface corrosion. Finer details like the hair texture or the lines of the clothing may be diminished. Nonetheless, the central portrait often holds up well, even after decades of circulation and exposure. Along the top of the obverse, the motto "In God We Trust" appears in a semicircular arc above Lincoln's head. To the left of the portrait is the word Liberty, and the date 1944 is found to the right. These features can often remain legible even in darker or worn coins. The lack of a mint mark confirms the Philadelphia origin. The black shade might mask some of the details, But under proper lighting or magnification, much of the coin's original features can still be recognized. A black shade on a copper coin is not unusual, especially for coins that have been stored in non-climate controlled environment or that have come into contact with moisture or reactive materials over the years. The reverse side of the 1940 for wheat penny continues the original wheat ear design introduced in 1909. It includes the denomination 1 cent in large letters at the center and the word United States of America directly below. The motto E pluribus unum is positioned above the denomination. On either side of the coin are stylized ears of wheat, symbolizing agricultural abundance and national prosperity. These wheat stalks frame the coin's reverse and give it its common name wheat penny on a coin with a blackened surface. These elements may be more difficult to distinguish at first glance, but they are usually still present unless the coin is severely corroded or damaged. The composition of the 1940 for Lincoln penny marks a return to a copper-based alloy following the single-year use of zinc-coated steel in 1943 due to the wartime need for copper and other metals. The mint experimented with alternative materials, but the steel cents of 1943 were not well received due to their tendency to rust and their confusion with dimes. In 1944, the mint repurposed spent shell casings from military training rounds to create bronze plankets for the pennies. As a result, the 1940 cents are made from a composition that includes 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. Over time, copper coins can develop a variety of colorations based on their environment. A black shade is usually the result of oxidation, prolonged exposure to air and humidity, or storage in unsuitable conditions that encourage discoloration or tarnish. From a historical standpoint, the 1940 for penny represents an important time in United States history. It circulated during the last full year of World War II and would have been used in transactions ranging from small daily purchases to war bond drives. It is a symbol of both wartime resourcefulness and the return to normalcy in coin production. Millions of these coins were produced, with Philadelphia alone minting over 1 billion pennies in 1944. Despite this high mintage, the coin retains historical interest, especially for collectors who appreciate the story behind each piece rather than just its rarity or monetary value. The black shade condition of this particular 1940 for penny gives it a distinctive appearance. While it may not command a high market value due to its circulated status and surface discoloration, it can still be appreciated for its age and the unique visual character that it has acquired over decades. Some collectors find beauty in these imperfections and see them as markers of the coin's journey through time. It is also possible for such coins to be cleaned or conserved by professionals, but in the world of numismatics, cleaning is often discouraged as it can further reduce a coin's collectible value. The original surfaces, even if discolored, are generally preferred by most collectors. For collectors who focus on building full sets of Lincoln wheat pennies, the 1940 for Philadelphia issue is an essential inclusion. While it may not be difficult to acquire in terms of availability, finding one in visually appealing condition is more of a challenge as time goes on. A coin that has developed a black patina or shade adds a layer of individuality, and for some collectors, this uniqueness makes it more interesting than a mint state coin. The wear and discoloration tell a story and evoke questions about where the coin has been and what kinds of hands it has passed through. In terms of grading, a 1940 for penny with a black shade and evidence of circulation would generally be considered in lower grade conditions such as good or very good. The value may be modest in monetary terms, but its presence in a collection helps complete the narrative of the Lincoln Cent series. It also provides a tangible connection to a time when the United States was emerging from the grip of global conflict and returning to familiar traditions, including the production of copper coinage.